Good evening, everybody. You join me this evening in Wagon 84 Donegal Railway Heritage Centre. First things first, can everybody hear me? Right down, check the chat. So who have we got in? Oh, hi, Flymo. Hi, Clive at Ewan Railway. Tom, how you doing? Peter Jackson. Hello to you. Let's see what we got in the chat so far. So how's everyone this evening? So finally made it in to the railway. I've been in here for about an hour already. I've been doing some work on this section of the pedigo layout, as you can see. This will be on not tomorrow's video, but next Friday's video, doing the trees and the grass tufts and bushes and that sort of thing, and putting the fencing in. Hi, Anthony, how you doing? And Bernie, hope you're keeping well. So I'll be trying to keep an eye on the chat while I'm doing this. So if I miss anything, just put it back in again. I'm trying to use my phone to keep an eye on the chat. So in a minute, I can take you around and show you Drumbo. Now she's back in place. We can have a good look around. Hi, Connor, how you doing? Jerry, how's things? So I said we're here in Wagon 84 in Donegal Railway Heritage Centre. Wagon 84 is one of the original wagons that ran on the 3-foot narrow gauge here, and it was built in around the 1890s. We find it being used as a storage shed, and it's unique that this wagon is actually still on its wheels. They weren't cut off. So we've got it here sitting on a piece of track behind Drumbo. And then if I show you on my roving camera, you can see this is the pedigo layout that was donated to us. Hasn't got everything out on it yet because it's all put away so it doesn't get damaged while I'm building the extension over this side, and I yet have to start the extension on this side. Track is down, just need to do the scenic bits. I got to the bit where I was doing some drilling, but I won't do that for now because that's going to be very noisy for you guys. So, say this area here is just going to be green fields, fencing along the track here, and then I'm going to leave it at that. I've put some grass tufts and things down as well. I think I've used too many colors, although it doesn't look that bad on camera. When she stood here, it looks a bit, so I might take some of the odd colors off again. I'm going to leave it, come back and look at it with a fresh pair of eyes another day and just say, right, okay, I think I could do with a few more trees. I'm going to make some more seafoam trees. Oh, excuse me, sorry guys. It's a bit dusty in here. Hi Carl, how you doing? So when I take on the tour around Drumbo, I may drop in and out as the camera or the phone I'm using drops signal and picks it up again. So just bear with me. No, I didn't get the email about the change of time for the rail tour. What's it changed to, Carl? So you can see in here, my channel members, this is what your money goes to. Doing bits like this, getting the scenery bits and pieces, track and everything like that for in here, and for the other layouts and maintaining them. And anybody who's just subscribed, the ad revenue also goes to all of this. So thanks very much to you guys. Thanks to the supporters. Their links to their channels are in the description below this. Do check them out. And if any of you want to become channel members, it starts from like 99 cents, the first level, and it all helps with the work I do here at the Railway Heritage Centre in Donegal town. It's leaving at 9:20. That means I have to get up even earlier. Yeah, it is all worth it, Flymo. Like a lot of this stuff I use in here is my own stuff as well. So you can see down here now the boxes of stuff I bring in to do scenics and keep up the layouts in here. But it is a bit of a mess in here at the moment. But this isn't actually open to the public yet until I get finished with this. I'm hoping now to at least get this side done, get it tidied up and everything, and get it working and clear everything out of here, because we will be having our official opening of Drumbo in 2 weeks' time, less than 2 weeks' time now. In fact, it was 2 weeks yesterday. Yeah, I've seen that, Jerry. I've seen that. I didn't have a close look at it. I just seen it come up. Is it going to the RPSI or is it going to Downpatrick Railway? So anybody who's there lurking in the background, say hello in the comments. And you got any questions, stick them in the comments and we'll see if we can answer them. If you want to know any of the information or history of the railway here. Excuse me a minute, guys. Sorry, the museum's closed at the moment. So the museum's closed at the moment, I'm afraid. Sorry, just had some people on site messing with stuff. Yeah, I thought it was Downpatrick, Jerry. Right, let's take the camera and show you around Drumbo. What I'll do is I'll make this. Hang on. Yeah. There. So now the roaming camera is a big camera. You can see we've got some signals down here. So that's basically what we're going to do is up there we'll have models. Up there we're going to have signals and information about the signals down here. Over on this side and up on the top is going to be Drumbo. Oh, sorry, not Drumbo, but Phoenix display and information about that. And eventually what I want to do is put lights in all the buildings here with buttons on the side here so kids can press it, light it up, and we'll have a little information panel beside it telling them what it is and what it does, and as well as having one of the dipole signals on here with a switch so the kids can flick the switch and change the signal. Here's Drumbo. Here's some information about it. So built in 1907 in Manchester. You can see it was originally called Glenties before it was renamed Drumbo. So here we have the main cab. Now the bunker, the cab have all been rebuilt and restored. Hi Kieran, how you doing? Here we have firebox. And the grates are gone out of it. And part of the work we had done was a survey done on the boiler, which is in quite good condition. But there's a couple of plates that need replacing. Of course, it will need retubing. So the only thing that's left on it is the regulator and the reversing lever. When it was sat in Strabane for years, obviously all the brass bits and gauges and everything were robbed, so they'd all have to be remade, put her back into steam. Hi John, how you doing? So she carried approximately 2.5 tons of coal in the bunker, and she's 2 tanks either side, 500 gallons each, so a total of 1,000 gallons. Should have brought a torch with me. So these have all been rebuilt. She's different from the Class 5A, which Blanche is. The main difference is the tanks on Blanche are bigger, 50% bigger, so they actually extend all the way down here, so you can see the difference between them. Have a look in the smoke box. So you can see she was superheated, which if we put her back into steam, which is the plan to do, we'll take the superheating out, it won't be required. You can see all the tubes there. Smoke box itself. Right, I'll just jump down. There you can see 3-foot gauge. I'll go around here and have a look. There you can see an extensive amount of work has been done here. All the brass and everything has been replaced. All the gear is free running. Over 100,000 spent on the running gear itself over the years. We've just done a lot of work on all the coupling rods here. They've all been cleaned up and greased to keep them protected as well as possible. See the slide valves and everything all been greased. Now, one of the things I have to do is, I showed you that worsting kit before, I have to make wicks to go in these and here to make sure all the bearings and everything stay topped up with oil. I know it's stationary, but there's been a lot of money and work done on this, so we want to keep it as best condition as possible. So we have about 2 meters of track there, so we will every couple of months drag her forward and back just to keep her free. But all this work here was done by Mathilde. We had a French engineering student with us for a few weeks over the summer, and she spent a lot of hours and elbow grease cleaning all these rods up and re-greasing them. She's done a great job on it. They've come up a lot better than I thought they would. You can see the axle boxes there. You can see the trailing bogie. Again, all greased, all replaced. Actually, you can see a weld there. So this section here is replaced. The rest of it is original. This bit was so rusted and bent that it was cut out and replaced. And there you can see the coupling on the wagons. They also have safety chains, couplings that have had a hook that just went across just one central buffer on the Donegal rolling stock. Here we can see the wagon. This is the wagon that we're actually, the layout is in. You can see there, Roadbury, 1881. It's amazing that this is still intact, and we have. It's still on the wheels. The story with this is when the railway closed, it was a woman in Killybegs who bought it, for storage for her shop. And all they done is they simply lifted off the rails, pushed it over to the back of her shop, where it sat for about 30 years. We found it, bought it back, and restored it. You can see the paint's looking a bit rough again. It needs cleaning up and repainting. But it's generally in fairly good nick. You can see all the brakes. Up there you have the vacuum cylinder. It does roll, because when we've moved it by crane and sat it down, it has started to roll by itself, which is a bit alarming. Last Drumbo. Got her back here now. She's only going to rest here for a little while, and then we'll send her back and put her back into steam. Yeah, myself and Ollie seem to have a lot in common. Restoring wagons and trains, and he's got a 5-inch. I'll be going on to 7¼ inch, which I'll show you that now actually. As I said, I may drop in and out as I move about the building as I hop from hotspot to hotspot. So just bear with me. I should be back with you now, guys. Sorry about that. So that looks almost blue on the screen I'm looking at, but that's actually green. That's fully green. That's the signal box. Newtown Cunningham. Again, it was left. You can see in the picture there. That's it in its original position. We rescued it a number of years ago, brought it back here, restored it. Now it sits here as our disabled toilet for now. So as you can see, this is where the 7 1/4 inch is going all the way down. And now you can see we have the skeleton of a shed up. That will be finished hopefully this weekend. And then we'll get the rest of the track laid down. There'll be a point down in front of the shed, so there'll be 2 lines into the shed. And that's where we'll have our little ride on. Now this is coach 58. Again, this is restored. It was found in 2 halves of the county. I'm sorry, it was in 2 halves at 2 ends of the county. We found both halves, brought them back here, joined them back together, and rebuilt it. We haven't put the seating in it because we use it as for shows and displays and hire and all that sort of thing. So here you can see we have a model of the Phoenix. So this is just a maxi track electric 7 1/4 inch with a Phoenix body built on top. So this will be used to run up and down, and we have like a toaster rack carriage for people to ride on. And then walking into here, this is the trailer body of Railcar 15. You can see we've got the shuttering for the shed stored in here at the minute. And we have our interactive cab that we had installed a couple of weeks ago. You would have seen it on a previous live stream. It's proven quite popular at the moment now with kids and that coming in over the summer. Hi Heath, how you doing? I'm seeing a little sliver of the chat here coming up in the corner, so we're back out here at Drumbo in the grey wagon. So here you can see Railcar 15. Basically what we were in is this section here, backwards. This bit here would have just been, I think it was just scrapped and cut up and bulldozed into the ground. And coach 58, in its heyday, wheels. It originally ran on the Larne narrow gauge. When that closed, it came to here. You see, we've got some bunting up, and we've got our signal back up again. That was down for about a year because the post it was on was rotten, so we took it down. And we got a new post there recently and put it up. We've got our bunting up now, ready for the official opening on the 17th of August, which is 2 weeks yesterday. All the Thomas fans come in here and ask, is it James? Of course, it's number 5 and it's red. So no, this is Drumbo. This is Thomas's narrow gauge friend. This is obviously a red wagon, lighter construction than the grey wagon, a little bit smaller. This can carry up to about 2 tons. These can carry 7 to 9 tons. and quite often these would be pulled behind the railcar, whereas the grey wagons would be maybe 10 or 20 of them pulled behind steam engine for freight, and steam engine would also be used for the summer specials, pulling the carriages like that one over there. Possibly 9, 11. Got a picture of actually a double heading and pulling 13 of those through Barnesmore Gap. See, this at the moment is just the bed, coach 28. We had to dismantle it because it was in very poor state of repair. It's actually over in our store. So we have it to someday in the future when we get some funds to rebuild it. Hi Valerie, how you doing? Well, that's a quick little tour about the railway here. I'll put you back up there. And I will exit solo. Go back to the 4. And I will get my phone out and I'll have a quick look back through the chat just to see if there's any questions or anything on there that I missed. The chat is frozen on the phone. Hi Ewan, hi Dinmore, how you doing? And anyone else I missed who I didn't say hello to. Go back through the. Hope everyone's keeping well. Valerie, I'm at Donegal Railway Heritage Centre. I've just been given a little tour of Drumbo, and I'll do, if anybody's come in late and missed it, I'll go and I will show everyone around again. Is Nancy the same size? No, Nancy is smaller. Nancy is an 060 tank, where this is a 264 tank. It's 33 foot long, fully loaded, is 45 tons. Oh, I'm just gonna have a quick drink, guys. Wet my whistle. So, any questions from anyone? Anybody wants to know anything? Don't forget to hit the like button for me, guys. Okay, Heath, thanks for popping by. Catch you again. Hi, John War, how you doing? Oh, I'll give it 10 or 15 minutes and I'll take you around Drumbo again, see if a few people join. If you've got any questions, pop them in the chat. So tomorrow's video will be out around 6. It's going to be on the cleaner you would have seen in last week's live show. The review of that, how it works. Next week's video will be doing trees here, tufts, the fencing, everything like that, what I'm doing at the moment. So I'm hoping to get this filmed this evening after the live, and then edit that over the weekend. The 7 1/4 Tom, it was when we took one of the other boards out. We'd done some further testing, so we went up to Dunlewy 7 1/4, and they were able to point us in the right direction. They were able to look at it because they had similar control systems themselves. So because we had no circuit diagram, so we couldn't really tell what was what. And then from the information they gave us, then we were allowed to test a few components, and we found on the back of one of the circuit boards a section of it that was dry and disconnected. So we resoldered that, working sweet as a nut now. You couldn't really, when you first looked at it, you couldn't really tell once you started doing some testing and you were following the right path, and you could see, there's actually a break there. No, there isn't a Drumbo 7 1/4. It's something I'd like to build, but it would cost a lot of money. Someone did make a Swilly engine 7 1/4 inch. I'm sure if you look it up, you'll find it on the internet. It looks a magnificent beast. It really does. What I'd seen Bachmann announce something. What are they, apart from their 37s that seem to be exactly the same as the Cura scales for an extra £100? What other things have they bought out? It was an enjoyable day, Tom. If you can get there, I would go, because they're open Wednesdays and Saturdays, I think they said, to the public, and there are people there other days, but it's well worth joining and going down and having a look. Because while we were there, me and the guy I was with, we joined up, and we do intend to take the Phoenix up and run it around their track. They've got a 3-kilometer stretch of 7 1/4 inch, and it takes you about 12 minutes to go around it. It's quite a nice stretch. As well as that, they've got 3-inch and 5-inch rails as well. And I think they're going to build a garden railway G scale. And they're also building a pond for people who've got remote control boats to come in. But yeah, they're doing a lot of stuff there. They've just signed up another lease for the land for another 25 years or something, so they're going to be there for a while. So it's looking good. Hi Nissy, how you doing? Hope you're keeping well. Oh, some at no gauge. Yeah, very good. So I just filled in the paperwork today for attending the show in Cultra on the 12th of November. So I'll be taking the little 6x4 layout, and we've got about an 8-foot stretch of G-scale track for running the obviously the G-scale stuff up and down and displaying it. Taking the same stuff to Earn in September, 17th of September, I think it is. And also taking it to Dublin as well. Now, it's the first time I've ever actually taken something of my own I've built to a show. Like, it's only a basic 6x4. It's to show newbies what you can do, really. It's not a highly scaled, detailed model. Hello, Mr. Ash. If you wonder why I'm bending down, I've got the laptop down here. Everything's running through. So I'll show you what I plan to do over this side. Oops, in a bit more detail. So I said that sort of shelf at the top there, that's where all the Phoenix models are going to be displayed. We've got some O gauge, D gauge, 3.5-inch gauge, and the body that you've seen will sit under there for most of the time. Most of the time we'll be using just the Thomas one on the 7.25. So the idea with this one, this is going to, instead of being a hillside, this is going to be a rock face coming down into grass. When I've that done, I might see what else I'll do on there, because again, it's a big space to have just scenic. But this line here, no, this line here will be extended, so there will be something shunting backwards and forwards in, because over here is the cattle dock, and then this is 2 lines in the station. This is the main line. The train will be going all the way around, and then there'll be something else shuffling backwards and forwards on this. Again, it's all controlled from the sensor up there, which is, switches on the light. So in theory, when somebody steps in front, lights come on, trains start moving. As I say, this is someone else built this layout, so it's not mine to touch. I'm just here to protect it and keep it in good condition and make sure it keeps working. The only thing I'm going to do is add some lights. So children can press buttons on here to light up the signal box, and there'll be a little bit of information about a signal box and the station house and the cattle dock and that sort of thing, just so. Of course, there will be a perspex barrier all the way around to stop. It's not so much little hands, it's the parents are the worst. I1 production. Hi Bernie, welcome back. Yeah, so that's the Pedigo layout. Still a lot of work to do. A lot done so far, but still a lot more to do. I'd say the main aim now is to get this end finished, get it up and working with the train, doing the circuit, so it can be open for the official opening, and then I can spend more time on the other side getting that finished. Hi Leslie, how's it going? You keeping well? Here's some boy racer going up the road in his car. So before I sign off, what I'll do is I'll take, for all the new people who come in, I'll take you on a tour around Drumbo again. So here's our steam engine, Drumbo. Actually, let me just put that on solo view. So there's Drumboat. One bunker, carry 2.5 tons of coal. Cab, which has all been rebuilt, and the bunker's been rebuilt. It needs to, when it goes back into steam, it'll have to have the dials and everything remade because they were long gone, unfortunately. The original nameplate, I'm afraid it's a reproduction. But here we have water tanks, 500 gallons a side. The dome, which always causes a lot of controversy about what color was it. Some people will argue that it was red and it looked black because of all the soot, because they didn't always keep these engines very clean. But I've seen a few color photos, and from the photos I've seen, it's been both colors at different times, red and black. So let me put the camera down and I'll open up the smoke box. There you can see the superheater, which will come out when we put her into steam because we don't really need it. See all the tubes there, it'll have to be retubed when the boiler's done. The boiler is, I'm told, in pretty good nick. We had it, you can see there where they've done thickness tests on it. Apart from 1 or 2 plates around the firebox that need replacing, it's in pretty good condition. Right. You can see one central buffer. That's what Donegal stock had. There we can see the wheel alignment. So it's a 264. All these have been worked on. All the bearings replaced, all greased up. All the cylinders have been done. Slide valves in there, all oiled and greased. As I was saying earlier, we had a French student, a railway engineering student here, and she spent a lot of time cleaning and greasing it. She's done a lot of hard work on it. So we've coated everything with a layer of grease to protect it. How much you can see. You can see that's where the firebox is. There's no grates in it at the moment. They've of course all rotted away. They've got to be replaced. There's been an immense amount of work done on her so far. Yeah, she's not in too bad condition, seeing she hasn't run for over 60 years. And we need to get a sign writer in to put the crest back on here. We've got the grey wagon again. Wave, girls. One of them is my daughter, my camera person, who is back from her football training. Got a match tomorrow night. They're in the quarter-final or semi-final. It's a cup, county cup. I'll just step into the cab. You can see quite a big firebox. You can imagine having to throw coal to reach the back of that box. Quite a distance. Right. I'll just put the screens back and yeah, one day there will be a fire in its belly. Do you plan to put her back into steam? The plan is to put her back into steam when we have somewhere to run her. At the moment, we don't have access to a track bed, but this is phase one, to bring her back, do the canopy and protect everything. Phase two is to move on now to get some of the track bed back and put a running line in. So probably going to be at least 5 to 10 years, but part of that is when we start building it and laying the track, she'll go back up to Whitehead, put back into steam so she can come back and run up and down 3-foot gauge and be alive and well and Donegal again. Yeah, that's probably why they used it as it was built for the 3-foot gauge. It's always been 3 foot, never been converted. Unlike some of the wagons, or sorry, not the wagons, but the coaches, some of them would have been on standard gauge. Hi, Nigel. No, we don't have land. That's the big issue, but we're working on that. That's going to be phase 2 of the project. Something we've been trying to do here for years. There's a lot of hurdles, as a lot of you are well aware when you're trying to restore a railway. The big issue is land and landowners. Something we hope we can overcome, and we're working on it. There's a lot of us here passionate about it and want to see it succeed, so that's the plan. Well, what we'd like to restore, Ewan, is about a 9-mile section. So I got my daughter behind me here, peering her head in to see what's going on. No, the line didn't cross the road in front of Cromwell. What I'll do is I'll go out back and I'll show you where the track would have been originally. Sorry, there's the star camera person. She prefers being behind the camera as opposed to being on it. So I'm just trying to see your question there, Nigel. What was the original length? Is that what you're saying? Originally, there was 125 miles of 3-foot gauge track on the County Donegal Railway, plus another 100 on the Swilly. So there's about 225 miles of 3-foot gauge track. So here we have where the original platform would have been. Now the platform would have gone as far as where that wall is, would have been the edge of the platform. And then you'd have 2 tracks and an island platform. That direction there, it went off through Barnesmore Gap to Stranorlar, and just where those trees are in the distance, there would have been a branch off to the right that went down to Ballyshannon. And in this direction, you can see that building there. That was actually a cutting, and it would have went underneath that building on around to Killybegs. So there's the station there. We're actually stood just about where the footbridge is. Well, I'll take you down and I'll show you the plan we have of the railway. Hi Charlie, how's it going? Sorry guys, bear with me a minute. I've got someone bugging me for money to go and get a burger. Oh, key, sorry, I thought you wanted money. It's usually money. Do you need some money? No? Right, back down the end here. Got a map of the network that was in the county at one time. So there's the county there. This is where we are here, Donegal town. So normally the rail car or the train would start in Strabane, come all the way through Donegal and carry on to Killybegs, with the rail car coming up from Ballyshannon to meet it, from Glenties to Stranorlar to meet it, one from Letterkenny to Strabane to meet it, and you'd have one from Derry coming down to Strabane. Then you had Swilly, which went to Letterkenny, and on out to Burtonport, as well as up to Carndonagh. And then you had standard gauge, which standard gauge in Ireland is 5'3". That came up from Omagh and Enniskillen, up through Strabane, actually crossed the border into Donegal, and then back into Derry. And we also had, coming from Enniskillen Junction at Bundoran Junction, and went through to Bundoran. So in all, there was about 250, 260 miles of track in the county at one point. Now there's none. So you can see there the three railways, CDR, the GNR Ireland, which was the standard gauge, and then the Londonderry Lough Swilly. Now, although the Londonderry Lough Swilly was 3-foot gauge, and the Donegal was 3-foot gauge, they had different buffer heights. So you wouldn't always see them stock on the Donegal running on the Lough Swilly. Although the Lough Swilly did have a couple of wagons at different buffer heights at either end, because there is footage of Donegal stock on the Londonderry Lough Swilly, but there's no footage or photos of any of the Lough Swilly stock on the Donegal. So sure, it must have at some point, because I believe some of the Swilly engines would go down into Stranorlar for some work, because they did a lot of heavy work on the steam engines in Stranorlar. Yeah, 9 miles would be a good length if we can get it. Of course, we probably wouldn't start with 9 miles straight away. It'll be a mile or two and then build it up to 9 miles over the years. So we may start off with just a rail car or a shunter and a carriage to begin with, to get it up and running. And then as we put more track down, it's all on the planning at the moment. I mean, I suppose there's always a possibility that Flymo, you could change it to meter gauge, but she's a 3-foot gauge. Why would you change it? I mean, there's a lot of track panels, everything available here from Ford and Mona that are 3-foot gauge. Now, they wouldn't be heavy enough to take Drumbo, but it'd be certainly something to get started with. Well, the 9 miles would ideally be heading towards Ballabfey through Barnesmore Gap. That would be the ideal section. But part of the work we're doing, we have to do a consultation, a feasibility study, which will look at all different aspects of doing it. So then we can go to the stakeholders like County Council, Board Fáilte, everyone like that, all the funders and everything, say this is what we want to do. We're not just looking at the railway. We're looking at different things with it, walking trails, hiking trails, mountain bike trails, bridle paths, interpretation centres, nature walks, water sports on the lakes and everything that are around it. And hopefully it will be on the original track bed. That's what we plan to do, Nigel. Yeah, I think 9 miles is about the right stretch, because I mean, you wouldn't be tearing down there at 60 or 70 miles an hour. You're going to be trundling along at maybe 20 miles an hour, and it gives you the chance to do dining trains and that sort of thing as well, and teddy bear picnic and Christmas events and all that sort of thing, which help bring in the money, because it's events like that help us do what we do here, doing our Halloween and Christmas and Easter events. We're actually part of the mini food festival that they have in Donegal every year. They usually have a big food festival. Of course, this year, first year, sort of really they're allowed to do it after COVID. It's a smaller version, and they've actually hired out the coach, and they're going to do dining experience in the coach here. And that, as soon as they put it up, it's sold out straight away. I didn't even get a ticket, although I'll be here, so hopefully I can pick up some of the scraps. Now, the County Clare was 3-foot gauge as well. You had the Donegal 3-foot, you had the Cavan and Leitrim was 3-foot, you had the Clare was 3-foot, you had the Tralee and Dingle was 3-foot, you had the one up around Larne that was 3-foot. Cavan and Leitrim, did I say that one? That was 3-foot. There was quite a lot of 3-foot gauge in Donegal. It probably could be counted as light railway. Yeah, they do realise that, and I think they're more open to it, because they know we're not just talking about having just a railway. We're having the railway there at the centre of it, but having other things to go with it, like campsites and outdoor activity centres, walks and water sports and everything. So, a walking path with outside gym equipment. I don't know if you've seen that, Alan, at Dragon Junction. I don't know if you've seen a post he put on Facebook where he was on that. Where they have a track going through the forest way, and you're on like it's like a roller coaster, but you're in control of it. You're sitting on a pan that goes all around the track, and you've got a brake. We were thinking of something like that as well around. So, all sorts of things. Is where you put all these ideas down on paper. You send it to the consultant, say this is what we want to do, and they do a feasibility study. Say this will work, that'll work. This is the costings for this, that, and then we go, right, we have this plan. This is what they recommend. This is the return you're going to get. Help us. Yeah, I know Downpatrick are having trouble. They're also having trouble with the council, I believe, because they leased the track bed from the council, and I don't know what's going on up there. which is a shame if they have to close or whatever, because I mean they've built it up over years. You know, the same as us. We don't own the station house here. We lease it, and you know things could change, and they could chuck us out and say, no, sorry, we need this for something else now. Water slide, good for Donegal. Yeah. Well, Carl, if we send it up there and we're paying for work to be done on it, then it will be done. It won't be a thing that's being done as, you know, whenever they have time. It will be a proper job for them, which they'll be paid to do it, and it will be, you know, it will be sort of funding that will help them do their other engines as well. It's like the money we paid to get this done. It wasn't done, like they did do a lot more to it now than we requested, and we're very, very thankful for the guys up there because they're really dedicated and they're real fans of the Donegal and everything railway, and they really put more into it than we actually paid, and it was great the work they've done on it. But you know, we'll be paying for a job to be done. Yeah, contract work. You know, the guys, you know, Peter Scott and everything who was up there, he done an amazing job on it. In fact, there's going to be a talk here Saturday week, which I'm hoping to broadcast. So you'll either be able to watch it live or watch it back and catch up. And he's going to go through the restoration process of what the work they've done on Drumbo. It's quite extensive when you see what they've done. Yeah, Jerry, he who pays the piper, yeah. But it's not so much the planning, because we've had plans in before with the council and saying, look, this is what we would like to do. And they've looked at the plans and said, no, I can't see there would be any reason why you can't do that, because we're putting back what was there already. We're not putting any buildings up, because what we've actually, there's a cutting, and what we're going to try and do is put it like a roof over the cutting and use that as the shed. So it'll be hidden, you won't be able to see it. And it'll blend in quite nicely with the scenery, you won't even know it's there. But yeah, this is all, you know, things and stuff that got to be teased out. And, you know, these things take time and a lot of money. So I'll be looking for more than just channel membership at that stage. Okay, you know, in fact, I'm going to drop off myself now because I want to get some more work done on this now. I mean, I'm quite happy to leave the camera on and leave it rolling if you guys want to watch while I'm doing some work. I'm going to do probably about another half an hour. I just want to put the fences in. That's all right, Charlie. So guys, I'm going to leave the camera on for now, but I'm going to mute my bike, my bike. I'm going to mute my mic because I'm going to be doing some drilling, just so you don't get that noise. So keep chatting amongst yourselves. I'll glance at the chat and every now and again, and then once I finish the drilling, I'll put my mic on again. Hi, Alan. How's it going? Okay, Anthony. Catch you again. Take care. Well, I'm going to mute my mic, do some drilling, and then I'll come back to you guys. I just realized I've been talking away and I had my mic muted. Can everyone hear me again? Yeah, the fence can be a bit fiddly, but it's not switched on. Is that working? Yeah, I was just saying, Alan, what's the video about? Oh, so run up to your 70th birthday. That post you put on Facebook, that what you were riding through the forest, what do they call that? Where you're on like the track and you see it looked like a baking tray with a brake you were on. I was saying as well about your last video about the quartering and that you were having problems with in your steam engine. It made me think that might be the problem I was having with mine as well. Something I never thought of checking. Zip World was a coaster. Hi Seamus, how's it going? 3D laser craft Seamus there. There's the man who fixed our 7¼ inch. He's the hero of the day. Yeah, I have a little bit more done to it, Seamus. Still lots to do. So I'm just putting the track in line side now just to get that done. And then that'll be that. I'm saying I'm probably going to put a few more fences across just to split fields up, just to break them up because they're a bit big at the moment. Zip World. Yeah, I must look them up and see what they call that because so I was saying earlier to the guys, what we're planning and everything, we were actually looking at something like that of having it out where we want to put our railway as part from the traction. Hi Tom, how you doing? Oh, they've done that already, have they? They don't waste any time up there doing stuff. We're gonna have to go up there again sometime. Probably going to be around the end of August. I just put in the paperwork today for going to Coltra on the 12th of November. I know you said you might be busy around there with Christmas fairs, but if you're available that day, it'd be great to have your help up there. I actually looked at the cameras for the other trains are still going in the museum. It's the 12th of November, the Saturday. Well, the interactive stuff I'm going to be doing is there will be buttons along the side with lights to light up different, so they can light up this ticket office, and this is what a ticket office does, the waiting room, the signal box, that sort of thing. There's also going to be one of the dipole signals on there because underneath here we have signals, so there'll be information about the signal, so they'll be able to change the signal. So that's the sort of interactive things we're going to have on it. There will be 3 trains running on it, one going constantly looping around, one in the station shunting backwards and forwards, and one over by the cattle dock shunting up and down as well. So that's the plan. It's one of those things. In my head, it looks quite good. If I can actually get it down and done, it'll be a different matter. Right, I'm just going to do a little bit of drilling again. I'm going to mute the mic again while I'm drilling, so you guys talk amongst yourselves for a while. And this time I'll try and remember. Right, should be back now. Remove those bigger bits of sawdust. As I said, I'm not gluing these in place yet until I make sure everything works. The trains can get past without hitting off the fence. Where'd that hole go? Like fiddly trying to see the thread that makes up the wire. Oh, that's all put into that. Right. And I should have a post lying around somewhere that came off. Where did I put that? Yeah, was that the one who had the? It's not the Magna Rail. It's the other car system. Oh, what's it called? The German one, where you put the wire underneath and it follows the wire. You can have, like, as far as I know, like DCC versions of that and program it to do all sorts of things, and even have indicators on the vehicles and everything. Filer. Yeah, filer system. That's it. Yeah, talking to new carriages, I'm trying to convince myself and my significant other to allow me to spend some money and buy some of those Bach tankers, you know, the Helgen ones that are heavily reduced, if they're still in stock in Hattons, because I think they look quite nice and it'd be nice to have a rake of them, I think. Oh, sounds like rain. Oh, drat. Got that twisted. Take all them out again. Oh, suppose I can actually take this off now. I'm not doing any more spraying. Not good. Where's those big lumps of plaster come from? It's news here when it doesn't rain. There won't be anything bigger than this carrot running on it. It goes around there fine. Doesn't foul the fence. I can get the vacuum. Job for another day because I need to drill this side as well. Put the fence in that side, and then I need to build up a few more fences to go across it. And then I think that will look quite good. A few animals in there as well, just to finish it off. I think that should be that side complete. Well, it's bright and clear here for a while, Flymo. I mean, it's raining, yet I can see blue sky. Well, what's left of the blue sky in the late evening in the distance. Quite a pleasant evening. It's not too warm. It's not too cold. You know, it'll be a nice evening to sit outside at my house, although I wouldn't be able to sit outside because the wee midgies, the little biting insects that we have here, would drive you inside. Right, I think I'm going to call it a day there, guys. I'm going to get packed up, get home, make some more fences. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. Do consider becoming a channel member to help my work here, but just subscribing and watching the content also helps. So thanks very much for that. Video out tomorrow on the Charge cleaning wagon. and the video, some of the stuff you see me do here this evening, that'll be next Friday's video. I have a couple of the videos in the pipeline as well that I'm working on. I'm not going to give a date when they're going out, because every time I try and get them out, something crops up this time of year. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. Thanks for watching and for your support. It's very much appreciated. And I'll be back next week with another live. Probably won't be from here, probably from the home layout again. But we'll see. So take care, everyone. Keep on modeling, and I'll catch you all next week.